Denali and Kanvar followed Devaj into a chamber where Kumar Rasa lay pale as death. Amar had gone to take Frost to the ice chamber and Eska to a room where she could change into cooler clothes. Father Denali cried, rushing over to Kumar. Kumar's eyes were closed. His chest rose and fell with even breaths. Parmvar stood beside him. I can't reach his mind, Parmvar said. There is a thick wall between us and him. I have done all I can to heal him, but his mind is lost to us, I fear. Kanvar swallowed a lump in his throat. There has to be something you can do. I'm afraid not, Parmvar said. Amar strode into the room and went to the bed. Kumar, my old friend. Where are you? What must we do to bring you back to us? You never wanted him with us, Kanvar said. You're the one who erased his memories and sent him away. Don't pretend you want him back now. His hurt is your fault. Amar drew in a sharp breath. I never wanted him hurt. I just wanted him to be safe and you to be safe. Well, I wasn't safe, was I? Kanvar countered. You left me to die. Just like you sent Kumar off to die. No, I. Stop. Parmvar stepped between Kanvar and Amar. You two do not know each other. You do not see each other for who you really are. He grabbed each of their hands and forced them together. The time has come to get to know each other. Do it. At the touch of his father's hand, Kanvar's mind spiraled into his father's. Kanvar threw up his mind shields, protecting his mind from his father's consciousness. He tried to pull his hand away, but Parmvar held it in place against his father's hand. Kanvar, Amar spoke into Kanvar's mind. Amar's mind voice was gentle and soft. He did not press his consciousness into Kanvar's mind as he had before. Forgive me if I have hurt you, Amar said. I never meant to. I understand that you don't like or trust me. However, since Parmvar is being insistent, I am going to open my mind to you and let you see anything you want. Everything about who and what I am will be open to you. My life, my desires, my thoughts, and my memories. My mind is yours. How do I know you will not trap and hurt me if I enter your mind? Kanvar asked. Because I am here to protect you. Parmvar's ancient voice sounded in Kanvar's thoughts. So am I, Dharanadhar said. He nudged Kanvar forward. Curiosity aided him. He wanted to see into Amar's mind and learn the truth about his old enemy. Kanvar hesitated. Reassuring Kanvar, Dharanadhar moved his mind forward into Amar's, dragging Kanvar with him. Kanvar slid into his father's memories like he'd done with Parmvar's and Akshara's memories of Stone Fountain. Except his father's memories started 500 years later. He played as a small child in the palace with the young gold dragons. His parents, both Nagas, were always there, his father a king, strong and regal, his mother Parmvar's daughter, as beautiful as a jungle flower. They wrapped their love around him and kept him safe until the day they went away to investigate a disturbance on the coast. Some humans had crossed the sea from Varna and were killing the dragons under father's protection. Amar was playing in the great hall with Rajahansa when he felt a sudden stab of pain, and his link to his parents tore away, leaving a gash in his soul. His parents never returned. The Varna Naga hunters had killed them. Parmvar raised Amar, trained him to use his powers, helped him to bond with Rajahansa when the dragon sickness took him. Years passed in quiet solitude. Amar took over his father's duties of guarding and caring for all the great dragons in the jungle. Parmvar spoke to Amar one day while the two of them tended the broken leg of a great green dragon. You should marry. His words startled Amar. Who? Someone from the village in the jungle. There are plenty of pretty girls there. None of them are Nagas, Amar said. Nothing says you have to marry a Naga, Parmvar answered. A human woman would grow old and die, Amar said. He had watched the girls at the village. Many were beautiful and kind, but they worshipped him as their king and did not treat him like the other men of the village. Parmvar patted the green dragon's side. There you go. You'll need to keep off it for a bit. You're welcome to stay here until it heals. Thank you, the great green dragon rumbled. You are the king, Parmvar said. You must have an heir. I am getting old. Counting my 2 sons, there are only 4 of us, Amar. 4 Nagas left in the whole world. If you and my sons don't marry and have children, we will die out. The Nagas will be gone forever. Besides, you need human companionship. It's too lonely here. Go to the village and find a wife, please, Amar. Amar listened to Parmvar, and married a village girl. She was beautiful. He loved her. They had 6 children. None of them Nagas. His wife grew old and died. His children grew old and died. Their deaths left him empty. His grandchildren were not Nagas, and their children were not Nagas. Parmvar urged him to marry again. Again he complied and raised a family. Loved his wife, adored his 7 children, did everything for them a gentle father could do. And none were Nagas. All died. Amar swore he would never marry again. His broken heart could not be mended. He stayed away from the village and other humans, spending all his time with the gold dragons, and seeing to his duties as king. More and more humans came across the sea. They set up colonies along the shore, hunted the dragons, chopped down the trees. Amar ordered the great dragons to withdraw deeper into the jungle. He did not want to fight the humans or hurt anyone. He went in secret to the human colony from Varna, looking for a way to convince the humans to go back to their own lands. From the night shadow, he watched a Varnan boat come to shore. A beautiful young woman stood on the deck of the ship. Her face glowed in the moonlight. The wind ruffled her hair. Amar felt something stir inside him, an intense longing like he hadn't felt since he came down with the dragon sickness so many hundred years before. A love so strong he could not breathe as he watched her father step from the boat and give her a hand out. Her father was dressed in armor made from a great red dragon hide. The scales glimmered blood red in the moonlight. He carried a sword and a heavy crossbow that looked like it could hold 2 bolts at once, and shoot with enough force it could take down a great blue dragon. The woman called her father Rasa, a title meaning great dragon hunter. Amar withdrew and returned to the palace. Rasa was a hunter like the ones who had killed Amar's parents. Amar didn't dare return to the colony. Rasa would have a singing stone. If he found out what Amar was, he'd use the stone so Amar couldn't protect himself. He'd kill Amar without a thought. But the more Amar vowed to stay away, the more intense his longing for the woman he'd seen on the boat became. She haunted his dreams. Her face danced through his mind during the day. He could not focus on his duties. Nothing mattered but her. Parmvar confronted him one evening as he readied to leave the palace. "What's wrong with you, Amar?" Amar's heart beat so loud he thought Parmvar would hear it. Amar grinned at the man who had counseled him so often to remarry. "I'm in love." Parmvar raised his grey eyebrows in surprise. "With who?" "The great dragon hunter's daughter. I'm going to see her. In Dumali says they're having a celebration at the colony tonight. There will be music and dancing, and I'm going to go find her." "Are you crazy?" Parmvar snapped. "You can't go to the colony as long as Rasa is there. He'll kill you." "I don't care," Amar said. "I'd rather be dead than spend one more moment without her." "You don't even know her," Parmvar said. "I've seen her," Amar answered. "I've felt her presence up close. I can still feel her here with me." Amar rubbed his chest. "I have to go to her, Parmvar. I have to." Ignoring Parmvar's continued protests, Amar went to Raja Hansa and asked his dragon to fly him to the colony. Raja Hansa refused. "No good can come of this, Amar." "Fine. Don't help me." Amar stormed away and convinced one of the other great gold dragons to take him. He snuck into the big house where the colonists were celebrating and found her there. It took him a while to get up the courage, but before the celebration ended, he introduced himself to her and learned her name was Mani. They danced. Amar fell more deeply in love than he'd been a few hours before. So in love he allowed Mani to introduce him to her father. Kumar Rasa seemed pleased that his daughter had found a suitor. Amar could not tell if Rasa suspected who he was or not. Rasa's mind was locked away from him. Most humans had no concept of mind shields or even a glimmer of the idea they should control their thoughts, but Rasa did. Amar figured that was because Rasa was a Naga hunter, so Amar was very careful not to use any of his powers around Rasa, especially not to try to penetrate Rasa's shields. That would be a sure giveaway that Amar was a Naga. Amar stayed at the colony for weeks, spending as much time with Mani as he could. When he was sure that she loved him as much as he loved her, Amar asked Kumar Rasa for her hand in marriage. Rasa grew quiet and thoughtful. After a heartbeat too long for Amar's liking, he said he would consider the match if Amar proved himself a good enough dragon hunter. Varnan law required that Mani marry within the dragon hunter Jati. Amar recoiled. He couldn't. He'd never killed anything. He was the king, the protector of life in the jungle. He went back to the palace, intending to forget about Mani. But he couldn't. He loved her. But to kill some creature, even a lesser dragon, that would be impossible for him. Amar sickened. He couldn't eat. He couldn't sleep. He wished he were dead himself. Raja Hansa came to him and dragged him out to a window overlooking the jungle. "All things die," Raja Hansa said. "Death is part of life. Even we gold dragons need meat to live. To stay alive, we kill lesser creatures and eat them. Is that evil? Killing intelligent beings like humans or great dragons is wrong. But the jungle is full of hunters. From the swarms of red ants on the ground to the black monkeys in the trees. No one will think poorly of you if you hunt and slay a lesser dragon. You can do this thing. I thought you did not approve of my courting Mani." Amar could not believe his friend and companion was urging him to kill something. It is dangerous, but I'd rather have you be happy with her than let your loneliness drive you to your death. Kill a lesser green serpent. You know, the big one down by the village that has attacked some of the villagers. It needs to be stopped anyway. All right, Amar said. Take me to the village. Killing the green serpent was easy. Amar simply called it out from its lair and finished it while it was in thrall to his mind. He took his trophy back to the colony and claimed his bride. He was so much in love he didn't even care that he had to leave behind his palace and all its luxuries and move to Varna. He cherished every moment he spent with Mani, knowing too soon she would grow old and die. He and Kumar became fast friends. But then one day Amar went to call on Kumar to wish him a happy birthday. He thrust aside the door hanging and strode inside. So Kumar Rasa, you've survived another year, he said jovially. Kumar jumped in surprise. Oh no, it's the Naga, Kumar thought. It was the first time Amar had ever seen inside Kumar's mind. In that instant he realized Kumar knew exactly what Amar was. Amar reacted defensively, blasting Kumar's memories away. Kumar stared at him with blank eyes. Amar's heart somersaulted. He sucked in a sharp breath, shocked at what he'd done. He'd used his power out of control and hurt the mind of his father-in-law, his friend. Kumar, I'm sorry, he said. I'm so sorry. He couldn't leave Kumar like that. The council would notice such blatant Naga handiwork. And he couldn't return his memories to him. There was too much at stake. Amar had a wife and 2 sons now to think of. The council would condemn them all to death. Getting control of himself, Amar gently went back into Kumar's mind and gave him a new life and purpose. He would go to the Great North and live among the tribes. He would hunt a great white dragon. Amar knew the great whites were elusive, and Kumar would not find one for many years, if ever. But he set Kumar's mind, so that when he completed his quest, his memory of his life in Varna would return. By then Devaj and Kanvar would be grown. By then Amar might have brought himself to tell Mani who he really was. He could take her and the boys to the palace where they'd be safe. But the day never came when he revealed himself to Mani. Every time he brought up the subject of Nagas, Mani grew vehement and angry, insisting they should all be killed. And then the worst happened. The worst and the best, because Amar had given up any hope of it hundreds of years before. Devaj came down with the dragon sickness while Amar was away hunting, and Mani learned the truth on her own. Kanvar untangled himself from his father's memories and pulled his hand away. He had no desire to feel the crossbow bolt Mani had shot his father with. He took a sharp breath and wiped tears from his eyes. His father was not the tyrant Dar Anadhar thought he was. I'm sorry, Kanvar said to his father. I am too. Amar pulled Kanvar into a gentle hug. I've missed you, Kanvar. It hurt so much when I thought you were dead. Thank you for coming back to me. And for bringing Kumar back safely as well. I wish we had some way to free his mind now and return his memories to him, whatever the consequence may be. But what will you do if he tries to kill you? Kanvar asked, looking over to his unconscious grandfather. I don't know. But I'll be ready for him this time. More careful. More gentle. I may be able to just make him believe that he likes Nagas instead of hating them. Assuming he remembers anything at all. Assuming we can reach his mind. Kanvar nodded. I have an idea. Since the great white dragonstone brought back his memories before, perhaps I can use it to reach him now. The wall around his mind may be a reflexive attempt to keep you and Parmvar out, so you can't hurt him again. Maybe if I try with the dragonstone, I will be able to reach him. He has no reason to fear me. It might work, Parmvar said. But be careful. I have not yet trained you how to use your powers. You are still young. Your mind is weak. You could be trapped within that wall too, and then we will have twice the problem. My mind is not weak, Dar Anadhar's thoughts blasted into the Naga's minds. I will make sure Kanvar is not injured while reaching for his grandfather. Very well, Parmvar said. Denali, will you let Kanvar use the stone? Gladly, if it can bring my father back to us. Denali handed Kanvar the white dragonstone. Kanvar took the cold crystal into his hand and moved to Kumar Rasa's side.